Greetings everyone, dear aspirants. Like every year, UPSC has surprised all of us, whether aspirants or teachers. So, again this year, the paper was too lengthy, time taking, and again certain new type of options, new type of format in the questions were seen. For example, especially in governance section of polity and governance section, strategic decision making type of question, assessment region based type of question, ethical or policy judgment related questions were introduced, which is supposed to be in means examination. So you can see that how UPSC is evolving over the period of time, and especially if we analyze last 6 years since 2019 Prelims paper, you will find that it has drastically changed, right? And every year it is surprising all of us. So in this paper, we will analyze GS paper 1, right? Then we will also see what UPSC is signaling, right? You have to find some clue, and obviously there are some clue, and you will have to read between the lines that what is the demand of UPSC, what is UPSC expecting. So let's continue. So first, let's see the topic wise distribution of questions this year in GS paper 1, right? And as you know that certain topics, right, means questions in certain topics has been increased drastically, and even in the core topics number of questions has, right, or number of questions are decreased. So first, here it is science technology, and this year maximum number of questions means 18 number of questions, right? In total there were 18 questions from science and technology only, and it is completely unexpected, and that's why UPSC is called unpredictable. No one can predict. Second thing, certain core areas, as I said, right, and questions from these core areas have reduced, and some core areas there are more number of questions. So in economic, static plus current affair, right, in total 14 questions. See, one thing I would like to make you clear, that there some questions, right, are interlinked. Interlinked means they overlap with other topics, and that's why, and there are very fine difference, that it is very difficult to segregate them under any one category, and that's why in different institutes or explanation of different teachers, right, the number may vary, but it will not vary, right, very much, but hardly 1, 2 or 3 question may vary topic wise, right? But here this is the best, one of the best analysis of topic wise distribution of questions. So in history, again increased, right, 14 questions, and under in this, right, ancient India and modern India have played a significant role, right? Means questions are from ancient India and modern Indian history. International relations, again good number of questions, in total 12 questions, right? And why? Because you do know that so many uncertainties, right, war, summits, right, conference, meetings are going on at international level, right? Geography, little bit disappointing, only 11 questions, right? It is expected that mostly 14 to 16 questions from geography, but this year UPSC has, right, little bit disappointed us, and 11 number of questions only. Polity and governance, again UPSC has disappointed us. Last year there were 14 questions, right, but this year only 10 questions from polity and governance combinedly. Environment, again disappointing, 9 questions, right? And as I said, some topics overlap, some questions overlap with other topics, right, but purely 9 questions are there from environment section, right? So again decline. So you can see in 3 core areas, geography, polity, governance and environment, right, only 30 questions are there, and it is unexpected. Approximately, right, we expect 40 plus questions from these 3 topics: geography, polity and economic and environment section, right? But this year only 30 questions. Art and culture again, right? Weightage has been increased. Seven number of questions, 7 questions in total. Current affairs, see, purely 5 questions. And see, there are so many questions, whether history, polity, art and culture, environment, or other topics, which are based on current affairs, but purely, right? 5 questions are there from current affairs, right? Though the opinion of other teachers may vary, right? So now let's see certain questions. As I said, certain new type of questions have been introduced, right? And introduced, it means what, right? And here I would like to tell you that this is set D, right? So do not have confusion. This is set D, question number 76 from polity and governance topic, right? And here you can see that it is what, a comprehension based question, decision making type of question. And which kind of decision? Strategic decision making question, right? And in particular, if you see that it asks about the public administration, principle of public administration, so purely related with governance. So such type of questions are unexpected, but for next year you will have to prepare for such type of questions, and you will have to move beyond your standard books. No, you don't need to read multiple books, right? But you will have to do a little bit more research and analysis, right? Another questions, again, as I said, that comprehension based, right? Very comprehensive question, time taking question. You will have to apply your mind, and trust me, no, you will not find answer of such type of questions in any book, right? So again, decision based or ethical or policy treatment, policy judgment based question. Again, though it is related to article 13, right? Question number 79, set D, right? Question number 79, the question is about article 13, but it is based on your decision, right? It is asking that based on above, select the correct conclusion for the option given below. So demanding your what, your decision making ability, because in future you are going to become a civil servant, a district magistrate, right? A district collector, and that time you will have to apply your logic, you will have to apply your decision, right? Now, and apart from that, there were some questions, right, that no aspirant can answer, right? And one of the, though some questions, some more questions were there, but for example I have taken only one question, and this is question number 98, right? And it asked about what, Indian Army Corps and their headquarters. So many corps, so many headquarters, so hardly any aspirant would be able to answer such type of questions. So don't think about such type of questions, right? Every year you will find some question that nobody can answer, right? So don't think about this type of questions. Make strong grip over the static portion. Try to interlink with current affairs, right? And one more thing, that from this year, do not rely on standard type of MCQs, right? Develop such type of MCQs, right? Change such type of patterns, and practice such type of questions for next year. Now, certain things that I have observed, and I would like to tell you that you must follow certain things. First is the lengthier and unconventional channels. As I said, that this year paper was too lengthy, and trust me, three for this type of paper, 3 hours are not sufficient, right? 3 hours are not sufficient. After seeing this paper, I can confidently say that. And if you see these questions, no, then you will find that these are not 100 questions. They are approximately 250 plus questions. 250 plus questions, right? Between the, if you see the options, no, then the range of questions is between 250 to 300, and options are too lengthy, right? Simply you can verify how. Last year, means in prelims 2025, right, 100 questions were printed on, right, including Hindi and English, 48 pages, right? And out of 48 pages, 21 pages took for 100 questions in English medium, right? But this year, in 2026, right, in 2026, 25 pages, right, took for 100 questions. So you can imagine, right, this year 100 questions have been printed on 25 pages. Last year 100 questions were printed on 21 pages. So you can see directly 4 pages have been increased. So you can understand the length of question, and that's why it is very time taking paper, right? And till date I would say it is the lengthiest paper. Every year it is said, right, that this was the lengthiest paper, but every year the length increases. And plus, what is the bonus? New type of questions, new type of options. So first thing, it is called cognitive burden, right? Cognitive burden means it when it takes time, right, it increases your cognitive burden. For example, we have seen comprehension based questions. So it is nothing but cognitive burden. You will not be able to read even during that pressure, right? In the examination hall, you will not be able to read the question even in 1 minute. Forget about answering that question, right? And you have 100 questions, plus you have to fill your OMR, and apart from that, right, during attendance sheet, etc., etc., right? So roughly you will find that you have one minute for one question, or one something 70 second, you can say 70 second for one question. And this year questions are so lengthy that it takes, even some question may take, right, or would have taken 2 to 3 minutes to read. Then after reading you have to understand that, and you have to answer that. So definitely all these things will drastically reduce the cut-off marks. We will talk later, right? Second, shift in question paper. Obviously, as we have seen that what is shift in question paper. So this year, certain topics, right, like history. So in history, ancient plus modern, right, have been given the most weight, right? In ancient India, right, Jainism, Buddhism are the focus area. Modern India, again, the number of questions from modern India have been increased, right? Number of questions in geography we have seen decreased, right? Even in economy, right, polity, environment, number of questions have been decreased, right? But in science technology, number of questions have been increased, right? Good number of questions again in art and culture, international relations. So there is a shift in question paper, and every year it is seen. right? So you have to you have to create a balance between the core areas, core topics, plus integrate with current affairs. Avoid silo approach, right? What is silo approach? I will tell you later. Next is, right. So here, integration of static plus dynamic context. So here, as I said, that you have to create a balance, static plus current affairs, right? What see, so many students focus on static portion, and there are some students focus on current affairs, but only who apply their logic, right? They try to create a balance between both, and they play very safe. If you create a balance between both, right, you maintain the balance between both static and current affair, right, you will definitely play safe. Even the paper was toughest, in spite of that, so many good aspirants, right, would have performed well. Do you know what is the reason? The reason is this: the balance between static plus current affairs. And here, how to make balance? Let me tell you that avoid silo approach. Right? Silo approach means what? Silo approach means what? That, for example, most of the aspirants simply study, right, current affairs magazines. Simply, they open the current affair magazine, they read it, revise it, or some of them make notes. Right? But this is called silo approach. You have to integrate your current affair magazine with static portion. Even in my previous lectures, right, I always insist that try to balance with, right, means current affairs with static portion. For example, just an example, article 143 was in news, right? You read that topic in current affair magazine and you are satisfied. Don't do that. At the same time, when you are reading current affair topic, right, for example, article 143, go and open your standard book or do some Google, right? Read some related case studies, some judgments, right? It will broaden your perspective, and only then you will be able to answer such type of questions. So avoid silo approach, right? Always integrate both static plus current affairs. Next, instructional insight. I have already given you the instructional insight, so follow this. Next, subject specific shift. So subject specific shift, what is it? Already we have discussed, but let me tell you that in history, right, whether it is economy, whether it is environmental science, whether it is polity or governance, right, whether it is science or technology, whether it is art and culture, right. So we have seen a drastic shift, and every year this shift is seen, right. This year, for example, this year maximum number were maximum number of questions were from science technology. Next year you can get maximum number of questions from economic or EVS or polity and governance. Nobody can predict, right. So this is called subject is specific or topic is specific shift, and you will have to prepare from that perspective, right. Try to create a balance. Don't be, I always say, don't become emotional, be rational, right, because each and every question carries same marks. You are achieving mastery over a particular subject, right, that will not help, right. Try to balance between all these subjects. It does not mean that you can or use dedicate your 100% time to any particular topic. Try to distribute your time among these topics, right. Next, so here, strategic decision making means here, as you know, that especially for last 4 years, right, the elimination technique almost gone, almost gone. And this year, right, you can see the you have appeared the examination or you have seen the paper, you can easily justify that the elimination technique has gone, almost gone. If you are not sure about the options, you cannot answer the question. And even the options are so close and confusing. So here, what is the way forward? So first, just broaden your perspective. Broaden your perspective means what? Like, do as I said, some extra research and analysis. Extra research and analysis means what? For example, as I said, read any topic, right? Do Google, right? Don't read 10 books or multiple books on any particular topic. Have just your standard book, some study supportive study material, and take help of Google. Broaden your perspective, right? For example, in polity, right? This year, a question was on zero FIR. So, zero FIR, it is related to our judicial system, right? Legal system, legal procedure. So, as a UPSC aspirant, you must know about the basic legal system, basic legal procedure. For example, UPSC has already asked questions regarding bail, bail related provisions, anticipatory bail, right? So, you have to understand such topics and you will have to open yourself, right? Open your mind. Clear? And here, as I said, that broaden your perspective plus increase your depth. It demands more penetration. More penetration means what? As I said, that for example, you study just an example about any topic. Take any example, right? Whether it is science tech, history, right, or any topic. So increase your depth. Have means type of approach. As you have seen, the questions are based on comprehension, right? Decision making questions, assertion region based questions, ethical policy treatment questions. So here, your broad perspective plus your depth will save you. Next, now what is expected cutoff? So after seeing this paper, analyzing this paper, right, I can easily say that obviously the cutoff will go very down. Right? Last year it was 19.66, right? Approximately 93, you can say. Clear? And if you see for last 5 years, the cutoff is between 80 to 93, right? This is the range. But this year, I can say that it will, I might be wrong, right? But it will not go more than 80. Means it will remain under 80. I might be wrong, right? Because nobody can predict UPSC, but this is expected that the cutoff would not be more than 80. It would be or it would remain under 80. Now, here for future means if you are going to attempt 2027 or if you are going to continue your attempts for next year, right? For example, this was your first year, first attempt, second attempt, or third attempt, whatever. But you are going to attempt next year, right? You have to change your approach, certain approach, right? But first is interdisciplinary preparation. So interdisciplinary preparation means what? First, you have to study prelims plus means, right? Means integrated approach. First. Second thing, whether you are studying for prelims or means, focus on current affairs plus static portion and try to create a balance between both, right? And as I said earlier, that whenever you study any topic in current affairs, right, just open your standard book of static portion, right? Whether it is history, geography, polity, economy, or whatever, always link your current affair with your static portion. And here again, as I said, that broaden your perspective and again increase your depth. Only that will save you. Next, again, practice analytical comprehension. Analytical comprehension we have seen, right? Questions in governance, polity. So such type of questions are analytical questions, and other under other topics, right? Also, there were so many analytical type of questions, right? So you will have to change your approach, right? Stop relying on standard MCQs that you have practiced till date. So this was all about the analysis of GS paper 1 of UPSC Prelims 2026. For all those aspirants who have appeared this year, remain cool and calm. You don't know what will happen in future. If you have performed well, right, that's okay. And if you have not performed well, that's also okay, right? Remain cool and calm because life is too big. There are so many options are there in life, right? Do not panic. Do not have anxiety, right? See, remain cool and calm. Only focus on future. Future means multiple options are there. If you are going, if you have attempts, try for next year, right? Or unfortunately, if it was your last attempt, try another area, another fields. But don't get or don't lose your hope. Remain optimistic. That is my humble request. Thank you.